Rachel here from Beads by Rachel. I'm going to be showing you how to make wire wrap clasps. As always, please do give me a thumbs up and do put me a note in the comments below so I know you were present. Now, last week was doing caged beads, half caged and fully caged. We used an ordinary lobster clasp, but I thought it'd be really nice to show you how to do your own clasp. You don't even have to do a wire work piece to do this clasp. It might be that perhaps you just can't find the right colour clasp, but you can get the right wire in it, or you want to save yourself a little bit of money and make your own. So I'm hoping to bring you something a little bit different. You can either directly attach it to your project, or you can add jump rings at the end. Good set of cutters. You're going to need some round nose pliers, otherwise known as looping pliers, some chain nose pliers or flat nose. It's not essential, it's handy to have some nylon jaw pliers and 0.8mm wire. Now 0.6 is too thin, 1mm I would say is too thick. It will really probably hurt your hands. So that is what I would say to go with. Hopefully you can see that enough. And this is how it goes on the bracelet. Okay. Now for this looped area, we'll start with that one first. I'm going to start by cutting a 4-inch length. You'll probably have a little bit of excess left on it. And this is also a good way of using up any scraps as well. Now grab your round nose pliers and find the midway point roughly and bring your your wire around the round nose pliers. It's up to you how big or small you make the loop depending on the project that you've got. Now what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to straighten that out a little bit. Let's show you what I've done. So that's a little bit straighter. I'm going to clamp this and then I'm going to wrap this round fully, one full wrap. Okay, and then we're going to make a smaller loop this side. So give enough gap to fit another bit of wire underneath, and I'd recommend that you take the wire in the opposite direction so that one wire sits this way and when you wire wrap this one it sits the other way. So I'm going to bring that round my pliers like so, and it's probably going to be a bit wonky donkey to begin with. So we are going to just reposition that. I'm going to clamp the loop and then I'm going to do a wire wrap once with this one. Okay, and then what I always find easier is raise up your wire tail, because it's much easier to get into the tail than it is when it's laying flat. Have your cutters, so you have the flat side against where you're trimming. I'd recommend holding it so it doesn't take flight. Do the same with the other one, lift it slightly, get in there, give it a trim. Now as you can see, you've got two end tails. So I am going to use my chain nose pliers to just ease that flat, because obviously you don't want anything against the skin. So obviously I would take your time with that. You might even just need to trim it a little bit more and adjust that if you need to. Okay, so I would suggest that the longer end is for the clasp hook and the small end is to actually go on your piece. We're going to make the hook now, again using 0.8mm wire. I'd recommend that this time you cut a 6-inch piece of wire. Going to make a little hairpin, so let me just show you what we've got. So we've got a longer length one side, shorter length the other, and we've created that like a little hairpin, which you can either do with pliers or with your fingers. I'd pinch the ends. Now either a cocktail stick, or if you've got a jump ring mandrel or perhaps even a bead reamer, is you're going to bend it. I just eyeball it now because after you've done it for a while you just get used to what works best. I'm going to straighten that up because it's a bit on the kilter. And then we are going to trim down that shorter bit. Okay, and now we are going to pop our looping pliers just above that cut that we've just made, and then bring that round like so. I'm going to clamp that hook, and I'm actually going to flip the hook over. So that sits a little bit better. So I've got my hook there, I've trimmed off a little bit there, I've made a loop, and the loop, I'm going to make sure that it actually clamps in that tail. And you also want to make sure that it doesn't twist these wires here. And again, make sure you keep that up. And then gently ease that down. Make any necessary straightening that you need to do. Your hook and loop clasp. Now you can actually push that down to make it a little bit easier. I would probably pronounce that up a little bit more as well. So I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. So take care. Bye.